a little bit. This is Tristan here. We're going to show you how to wash your car at Supa Suds Car Wash, how to do it the most efficient way. Okay, we started on tyre and engine cleaner, and we're just applying a bit of that to the wheels. So we're just going to apply that to two wheels only on one side. Then we're going to switch it over to the pre-soak, and we're going to still do the other two wheels before pre-soak comes through. So it's going to take about 10 seconds for the pre-soak to actually come through. So we're still on the yellow product here, which is the tyre and engine cleaner. So by now, the pre-soak should start to come through. We'll just put a little bit of that on the car. Now the idea of the pre-soak is it softens up all the dirt so that when you come to wash the car it gets it off much easier. If you were to you try to use high pressure water and just wash things like the bugs off, see there's bugs on the car here and there's also dirt on there, then it's not going to come off as quickly or as easily, so it's actually more economical to do the pre-soaking first. This is the way we wash our own cars when we're here. And when we wash other people's cars, this is the way to do it as the most efficient way. Because the pre-soak is actually quite a concentrated product, so try not to get it on yourself too much, because it mightn't be that great for your skin. So now we're on the high pressure soak. Now the tip here is to get in very close with that gun there to wash it off. Now anyone can do this here, you don't have to be an expert like Tristan here. You just have to do it this way if you want to have it the most efficient way for washing your car. So the distance he's getting the end of that gun to the car is about a hand width. It's really close. The most common mistake people make here is having it out too far. Tristan, show what it looks like. People have it out too far, they're like this. Not enough pressure, it's not going to get it off. It's the closeness that you have it. It's not, the amount of times you go over it. So you don't want to go with the car 3 times out further. You want to be in really close and just go over it once. So we're working from the bottom up. So when we're getting the pre-soak off, we work from the bottom up. That way the pre-soak actually stays on the car longer when we're getting it off. If we started from the top down, then we would be washing it off earlier because the water coming down would wash it off. This way it stays on until we wash it off. This is Tristan washing the brush before he uses it, just in case someone's left some grit in it, some dirt from a previous person. There we go. So now what cycle are we using? Bubble brush. Okay. Bubble brush is pretty straightforward. Everyone gets this one right. But if you don't do that pre-soak and high pressure first, there's going to be a lot more dirt on your vehicle than there would be than the way we've done it now. And if that's the case, and you just do it like this, you might miss little bits, and then later on you're going to notice it and it's not going to look too good. So if Tristan actually missed a little bit here, or didn't push hard enough on the brush, you're not going to notice it later on, and you're not going to have to go over it again. And the other thing is, because he's pre-soaked it and done the high pressure water, he's taken off a lot of the dirt and the sand, and because he's taken that off, it means he's not going to scratch the car at all while pushing that around, because the brush will not scratch your car, but sand, if you're pushing that around on your car, it can scratch your car, okay? So the idea is, get your sand off first, get your dirt off, most of it, and then brush it just to get the rest of it off. Now, if you weren't to brush it, if you just did the high pressure soap and then rinse it off, you're not going to get your car fully clean, because there's still about 10% of deposits remaining on the car. Mainly fine dust, but you really need to brush it to get the car clean. If someone was to come here and just use the brush straight away without wetting down the car or getting the dirt off and start to push big muddy bits of dirt around, then that mud and the dirt could scratch your car. So that is something you could do wrong in using the brush. Apart from that, I don't know what you can do wrong with it. Pretty straightforward. Thank you, Tristan, for doing this and showing people how they can wash their car. You're probably an expert on YouTube, aren't you? You probably look at it on how to fix your mobile phone or do different expert things. Okay, so now we've got it on wax. Okay, so we've just done the soap, the bubble brush, but he's got it on wax. And he's just going to go around reasonably quickly now, just to apply a little bit of wax. See, we're not even getting all the soap off here. We're just going around quickly, popping a little bit of wax on, and then we're going to rinse that off. So the idea is to get your wax basically for free. So you're giving away all the trade secrets here, Tristan, showing how to do the wax. So now we switched over onto rinse here. Is on the rinse or onto the clean water, because if you wax your car, you've got to rinse it off anyway. So we haven't got all the suds off yet, but we have got the wax on there as well. So now he's going ahead, rinsing off the excess wax and rinsing off the suds. So now he's doing it in the typical manner you might expect, working from the top down. Okay? So whereas before with the pre-soak, we worked from the bottom up. So now we're working from the top down. Pretty easy this bit, just washing it off. So this is pretty straightforward here. So the car's going to look pretty good after this, because it's got its wax on it, and because it's got all the dirt off, and because he's taken care to get the dirt off before he's used the brush. So there's not going to be any scratches. It's just going to be a nice clean car done in the most efficient way. So we showed you how to save a little bit of time. Remember, just doing those two wheels first, then switching the pre-soak. If you don't get it all right to start with, come back, watch the video again, have another go. Or come down and ask Tristan, he'll show you how to do it here. Ooh, okay, now he's using spot-free final rinse here. Typically water has got maybe 200 parts per million total dissolvable solids in it. Now that's a bit technical, but that just means bits of gunk like salt, whatever. Even though you get a nice clean glass of water from the tap at home, looks nice and clear, there's actually a fair bit of stuff in it. And if you were to use that on your windscreen and then it dries out, you're going to have some calcium deposits, little white bits that just sort of sit on your car. But this water here goes through different processes. One's called reverse osmosis, and another one is 5 micron filter. It goes through 3 different filters at 5 micron. Basically the water has got, instead of 200 parts per million total dissolvable solids, it's got about 10 parts per million total dissolved salt, so 20 parts less, so very, very, very pure. So that way when it dries out, it's pretty spiffy. Thank you very much, Tristan. You'll be an expert on YouTube now, stuff, and already an expert on car washing. You guys don't get a key, you've got to come and put coins in here when you come and do it. Thank you.